But I'll tell you about something that is tough as we move away from WWE to kind of finish up this week's show, and that is running a show on Saturday. Now, a couple of weeks ago when AEW made its Collision debut, I asked Brandon, we talked about the possibility of this show being off the air by the time the new year hits around, and Brandon says Collision by the time, I want to venture to say without going back into the annals that you said around fall, no more Collision. And well, as of 3 weeks in, the ratings have been dropping every single week. Now, I will give them a slight pass for the past week because they were going up against Money in the Bank. At least, well, actually, I was going to say, no, they actually weren't. Now that I think about it, they weren't going against Money in the Bank, were they? Because that's East Coast time. I'm thinking, so they weren't even going against Money in the Bank.
It was 2 different times. Yeah,
they might have been going against Money in the Bank in the sense of, you just watched 3 hours of wrestling. You're going to now walk away from the television before you put on 2 more hours. So I'll still give them that slight pass. But the ratings have been going down week and week and week for AEW Collision. I'm very curious, where the future is, because this is a brand new show. And, I personally didn't think AEW needed it just yet. And Saturday, and not just a Saturday night show, but a second show in general, like Collision. And Saturday night it is a tough time slot. People forget the shows that were on Saturday nights before Saturday main event. That was on late night Saturday nights. That was always pre-taped. It was never live. It was always, and it was also a special attraction as well. Saturday main event wasn't on every Saturday. It was on once every 4 months. So it wasn't your every Saturday Night Live program. It was a special preemption of Saturday Night Live once in a blue moon. And they would, it'd be like a special attraction, like Saturday main event was in the 2000s when they had the 06 version of it, But having a weekly show on Saturday nights it's a difficult thing to do. If there's not, a championship match on the line or some sort of huge implications of why this show's taking place. So I'm very curious to see, where we go from here with AEW Collision, especially, as we start to hit the fall months and as it hits up against, it will be going up against SummerSlam. I will know that. That's a factoid. It will be going up against SummerSlam August 5th. So it's very curious to see what Tony Khan does with this. It's curious to see what the TV channel itself makes Tony Khan do, because I feel like Tony Khan's kind of stubborn and he'll stick with it. But under 500,000 people for the ratings. I think it close to 1 million for the first, and now we're about under 500,000, and we'll see what direction it goes in. Do you see any light at the end of the tunnel for AEW Collision, or do you think it's just going to keep going down and down and down?
Yeah, I think it's going to continue to go down, down, and down. But for me, it's just like anything else, business wise. Like a lot of these startups, so to speak, and this is a startup. This is a new. They're adding. It's like adding another store, so to speak. So when a restaurant gets bigger, they add another store. So it's like they're adding another store to their brand, and it might take a little bit of time for them, arguably, to get on track. FTR. I want to say Dax made a comment towards former WWE announcer, the coach on Twitter. I saw that where he's like, dude, give us time. Things don't happen overnight. I get that and I understand that, from Dak's perspective. But how long is too long? So for me, when I said fall, I'm sticking to it, man. I'm willing to give, if I'm the network, I'm willing to give them a couple months just to see what happens. And if it keeps going, if it keeps getting less and less, or the numbers are just, their loyal numbers are just low, TNT might just pull the plug and say, Tony, sorry, but no thanks. We'll just stick to Dynamite and that's it.
And again, I'm not a big fan, but I'm not an idiot as well. But one of your things that you pay attention to, right, coming the fall, probably worse than, the occasional pay-per-view, is week in and week out, primetime American college football games at 8 o'clock. And, I feel like TNT is a channel that would want to get that.
Yeah. You I'm not too worried about as if you're going to watch wrestling or college football, I know you.
Me, I'm not too worried about, but the general public, yeah, those get some really good ratings in the fall. And again, if we're talking a pay-per-view or something like that, that's a little bit different. But a weekly, Monday Night Raw, they don't do that great going against Monday Night Football. So
Well, they don't do that great on Monday Night Football, especially when the Dallas Cowboys are playing. I'm just putting it out there as America's team. They're one of the hottest commodities in sports. So you can look at the numbers. Trust me, when the Cowboys play on Monday night, they draw big numbers. That's just the fact. That's not BS. That's just the way it is. The Cowboys draw. So when the Cowboys, especially are on Monday Night Raw is not going to be as good. But if you get teams that aren't as popular in the NFL, the numbers are going to be down a little bit. I mean, even me as a Cowboys fan, I'm still going to probably watch those games because I love football. But not every fan's like that. Some fans are like you, where you're a Giants fan. You're going to watch your Giants games, and then I don't care about the other games really that much. It's not something you're going to go out of your way to watch. So
yeah.
for
So
me,
I mean,
football,
with that comparison though, so AEW would have to go against big time college football every
they're not going
single
to win
Saturday night.
They're not going to win it because college football. I know you don't watch. We talked about that just a minute ago. You know me. I'm a football junkie. Like I love wrestling, but I also love football. And to me, I would rather watch premier college football than to me like a B or C AEW show. That's just me. And will I still watch it later on, like maybe on a Sunday morning when it's like on demand, or I don't have DVR, so like on demand. Sure, maybe I'll watch it then. But I'm not going to watch it live, especially during football season, because for me as a football fan, I'm going to watch that instead.
Saturday night's just tough. Saturday night's just tough in general. People want to do things, even in the summertime. Summertime, people don't want to sit in front of the TV at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night. If it's a nice summer night, they want to be at a bonfire. They want to be out to dinner. They want to be out to their vacations, their camps, their holidays, whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's tough there. Then it's tough in the fall. It's going to be tough going. Sunday night necessarily. I mean, it sounds kind of crazy. Sunday night might be a better night. Obviously, WWE has moved their pay-per-views away from Sunday nights. Sunday night is kind of a quieter night. It might be a better night for AEW Collision. I give you that kind of. I mean, I get what you're saying again when the NFL season starts and stuff like that. But I'm just saying overall. I'm saying like let's say after the NFL season or during the summertime months. Sunday might be, because outside of the National Football League, Sunday is a dead night.
But here's the thing, though. No matter what, the worst thing that when a show is a sinking show, when the network moves them to different days throughout the year. Like eventually, it's like like your favorite show is coming to an end because they used to be on prime time on Monday nights, and now they're 11 o'clock on a Friday. That's just a fact. And to me, like WWE and AEW in general, it's going to be tough to compete with football because the NFL has dipped their toes into not only obviously Monday night and Sunday, but they also are doing a lot of Thursday night games. So like back in the day, the Thursday games you're going to get in the NFL were typically Thanksgiving game, but that's it. You weren't really getting Thursday night games, which then you could technically have a wrestling show on Thursday, except for Thanksgiving.
SmackDown and Thunder.
That's what I mean. Like
and that's a good example because Thunder had to do that back in the day. Remember, Thunder was a Thursday night show. SmackDown went on Thursday nights, and Thunder moved to Wednesday nights, and Thunder never recovered.
No, and that's a tough thing because there's like wrestling is a very niche audience. Like it's like the biggest thing is like you're like. Like for me, football will always be king and television for sports. I think that's not an argument from a lot of people because if you look at the ratings, you look at the Super Bowl, that's what it is. But the thing that I like about wrestling, and obviously, we do a wrestling podcast every single week. The thing I love about wrestling is our fan base is, if we're in, we're in. Like we're still gonna follow it. Like we're a rabid fan base. But at the same time, we're not all like you, for example. You may not want to sit in on a Friday, Saturday night. You want to go out somewhere. You might want to go see your favorite band play locally or something. Like there's pros and cons to every day of the week. So for me, it's tough for AEW. It's tough Sunday for AEW to find a day because I feel like WWE has the best days because Fridays there's typically not football on against SmackDown. Mondays, it's 17, 18 weeks out of the year you're going to have an issue, but the other 40, 38, whatever. My math's failing me at this point, but you get the point. The majority,
Monday
the
is a dead
majority of the
night.
weeks, the majority of the weeks,
Yeah.
Mondays are not going to have that stiff competition. But it's to me like I just think I think people love Monday Night Raw because it's the beginning of the work week. It's like their first night. Most people work Monday through Friday typically. So for me, it's like, okay, who wants to go to work on a Monday? I don't think anybody wants to go to work on a Monday. But they're getting their routine again, and I think people are a part of the routine is okay. I just got done with my first day of the week. Let's have dinner. Let's get settled. Oh wait, Monday Night Raw's on at 8 o'clock. I know what I'm doing tonight. It's people are part of it's a routine. But when you're going to on a Saturday, especially in the summer, or if you're in the South or in other parts of the country where the weather's good most of the year, you're not going to sit inside on a Saturday night. There's just so much other stuff you could be doing. So it's a lose-lose proposition. But I mean, we're going to see what Tony Khan does. He has enough money where even if he loses it, it's not going to hurt him anyway.